Hey Virgo, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. My name is Michelle. I'm an astrologer and tarot card reader, and I use astrology, tarot cards, and oracle cards to divine insight every single week for you to be able to take command of the energy. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button and then ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload your favorite content. I also create extended readings for even more information and more goody grit. So there's two ways to get those. You can either go below and do it the traditional way through the Vimeo link, or you can join the Unbound membership. And by joining, open up so many benefits and get full access, full access for the life of your membership to all of the extended readings, and then a bunch of other perks, including 2+ live chats, members only live chats with me. Where I'll answer any kind of tarot questions you want to bring me or astrology questions you want to bring me. I also have a second YouTube channel called Astrology Motivation, and you want to join me over there for lives. Every single day I go live and I do a general reading, and we can chit chat a little bit over there too. Anyway, let's get into the reading, but let's start with the astrology. Essentially, all of the energy is focused and concentrated in your 6th and 7th houses. Your 6th house is in Aquarius, your 7th house is in Pisces. Your 6th house therefore took a big, explosive energy boost when Venus and Mars entered within 7 minutes of each other in conjunction. They hand in hand, they plopped themselves into your 6th house. Now, your 6th house is, you're the natural ruler of the 6th house. Virgo's natural ruler of the 6th house. But your 6th house is in Aquarius. And ultimately that's about community. It's about people. It's about kind of communal property or communal purpose, right? So ultimately with Venus and Mars entering, those are inner planets. They're affecting your behavior right here, right now in the 3D. And then Saturn's there. So ultimately, if you're doing any kind of extra work, this would be a great time to use this energy to go and take classes, get fit, get healthy, focus on your healing in a group environment, whether it's a Facebook group, a meetup group, whether it's a group at your gym, whether it's joining a gym. It's enabling yourself to heal yourself through a community and with your community. And the harder you work at it, because Saturn is there, the harder you work at it, the more you will get from it, and the more you will be rewarded by it. Now, going over into your 7th house, where your ruling dignitary has just moved into. So Mercury has just moved from Aquarius into Pisces. And ultimately, what does that mean? For you, since wherever you are in your life, you're going to be impacted by where Mercury is. Mercury going into Pisces, it's in detriment. It's not going to think as quickly or behave as quickly, because let's face it, none of us move as fast in the water as we do in air or on land. It just doesn't happen. And you guys are so used to thinking quick. So if you feel like your head is foggy or like it's underwater for the next month or so, that's because Mercury is in Pisces. It doesn't mean you can't think. It means please be nice to yourself. Give yourself time. The thoughts will come, the words will come, but slow it down. It also means that communication is going to be coming in through vibrations. Think about how all animals communicate underwater. Sonar. They don't use fucking words. They use clicks, because clicks kind of radiate that vibration. So if you're getting vibes off somebody, that's kind of how communication is going to work for you right now, especially communication through dreams, since we are talking about your 7th house and it is in Pisces. Ultimately, there's a sense of getting lost in the dreams, getting lost in the dreaminess, also being able to deceive yourself a lot when it comes to your relationships. And with Mercury there now, you may discover where exactly your head has been under the water. FYI. So let's get into your reading. Now that could happen not just this week, but that astrology, like Mercury especially, it's going to be there for a while. It's going to be there for the next, I think, 5 weeks. So This is your reading for the week, Virgo. What do you want to tell Virgo, God? What do you want to tell Virgo? Where we start out. Trust in divine detours. This is Sagittarius energy. So this means maybe going abroad, traveling abroad, literally, or thinking of things from a higher perspective, learning something new, inquiring, becoming more spiritual. Remember, Jupiter is in your 7th house now. So ultimately, which is, okay, it rules Sagittarius. So it may be, it's almost like you're like, you want to know more about spirituality. You're opening up to spirituality and different kinds of spirituality that you may not have considered. And you're also starting to see spiritually, there are different sides to the story. So it's almost like through the illumination of studying spirituality and being interested in other people's philosophies and their points of view, you're starting to realize that things aren't cut and dry. There's two different sides to each story. Really broadening your mind through your curiosity. This could also mean through traveling, because you have to travel, Virgo. There's a sense of seeing things differently, and or you might want to look into things. It could also be telling you might want to look into things differently, because you might see that it's not as cut and dry as you thought it was, especially when it comes to foreign affairs. So I don't know what that means, but clearly you needed to hear it, and we'll move on. Now, how does this impact you? It could also, listen, this could also mean in some ways, you find out that you and your lover or people that are important to you have different points of view than you, or can offer you perspectives that you wouldn't have access to by yourself. So ultimately, this is a good time for Mercury to be in Pisces, because what it's doing is making you slow down and not rush to a decision, not make up your mind immediately, but instead kind of in the slowness of it, take other things into consideration. And then we have embrace the in-between in your past. So this is being impacted by maybe riding the fence on an issue in the past. This is Flamingo energy. It's Libra energy. Trying to make things right, trying to make things work out, trying to Libra them, level them, equalize something, embracing the in-between. You started a transformative period in your life. So you've been shifting into a different modality. It didn't start too long. This may be up to 3 months ago that you started to shift into a different modality, and I think you're starting to awaken to different perspectives that you may have been isolated from. Okay, and then we have take the lead. Sorry, I use my voice way too much. We have take the lead. Now, this is legitimately being tapped by spirit, and also having to take control of the situation or start the momentum in something. Or feeling like you have a spiritual purpose, and especially when it comes to maybe your relationship. Because that is in Pisces energy, and you have so much spiritual energy in Pisces right now. And then nothing is wasted is here, which is seeing the treasure in a trash heap. This is really powerful energy, but I'm not completely understanding how this is impacting your life directly. This all seems like, woo, kind of way out there. Take the lead and nothing is wasted. You may be actually trying to impress some different issues or points of view on other people, talk to other people about them, maybe even taking this opportunity. I don't want to say convince people. I don't know. It just seems very almost like a missionary. You're on a mission to spread or open people's eyes to something. Okay. Nothing is wasted is Aquarius energy. It's looking, it's optimistic. Stag, Spirit, take the lead. Okay, this is in the past a collaboration that didn't work out. Could have even symbolized a breakup. Yeah, time to collaborate, and this is in reverse. So it was like a breakup, and then in between that transitional period in your life, the breakup doesn't have to be romantic, could have been in between jobs. So you could have just left a job, right? You could have just been transitioning from one set of responsibilities to another set of responsibilities, and now what are you doing here? Reclaim your power. And then be peace. There's weird sounds going on all around, and I don't understand why. I'm sorry that I'm reclaim your power and be peace. What does this mean? It's too far up in the air for me, God. I need something that is more... With Mercury and Pisces, I would not be surprised if you're more focused on, like the higher thoughts instead of, instead of like what's in front of you or the practical stuff that you're usually focused on. It's almost like that's not what's really interesting you right now. What is this? Page of Wands. This is a new interest. It's talking about a new interest or a new something that you've just started out. You've just started to get interested in something, and it's helping you. It's kind of like helping you find faith or helping you find your way forward. Yeah, it's offering you comfort. So I don't think anything's wrong with it. What is this? To be fair, you're trying to equalize things. You're trying to equalize yourself. You're trying to find some sort of balance or harmony. Libra energy, but she rules the 7th house. There's a lot of ruling the 7th house. It's almost like you're trying to get your legs back underneath you when it comes to your intimate relationships. How? Co-create by putting focus in your house. Co-create and no place like home. You may be building a new home. It's almost like you're trying to focus energies outside of where you've had trouble and find something that you can work on together, right? To help heal a situation that's really taken a big toll on your heart. Or if you're not doing it, the cards are suggesting that that's a good way to start repairing whatever kind of thing almost broke you up or needed repair, especially in your intimate relationship. So there's just this sense of finding a combined project, finding something. Oh, that's what the higher thing is, like finding something you both care about to take you outside of yourselves so that the conflict between the two of you can dissipate on its own as you find a way to work together on something that probably is family oriented, maybe your children, maybe people that you have a like mind about, a purpose that you have a like mind about. That's kind of what it is. It's like your 6th house is the secret to your 7th house functioning well again and healing. There's a lot of healing that's going on in the 7th house, and ultimately the 6th house is helping it out. 6th house is where are you putting your work? Working on, we talked about that in the astrology, right? Working on something together. It's got something to do with creating a house, creating a home, creating a family, focused on that family, focused on the health and success of that family. Okay. And that is kind of what is leveling you out. Okay. Virgo. We need more to understand what actions Virgo is supposed to take, or... Okay, we have the nodes here. plop in front of us. That's very rare, but they came out for Cancerians too, which is talking about the 4th house. Show the world the real you. This is Aquarian energy. This is your 6th house. Show the world who you really are by where you put your work, by the fact that you are willing to step outside of your comfort zone and maybe listen to other people, talk to other people, work with other people, consider things that make you uncomfortable, because when you take the lead by setting this example to somebody, it's almost like you're being put in a position where if you want your child or somebody who looks up to you or people are watching you, if you want them to do the right thing, you have to first be the right thing, right? You have to model that correct behavior. So in order to model that correct behavior, you're actually having to do things that you're not that comfortable with, but it is making you stronger and it is helping you become the better version of yourself. Stepping outside of your comfort zone is stepping into Pisces, because it is the exact opposite energy. You are legitimately, with Mercury in Pisces, stepping into your discomfort zone. And that is a world that is more dreamy, more illusionary, more chaotic, also broad-minded, expansive, and kind of like it doesn't have to make sense, but ultimately it's like this is your challenge and this is what you're stepping into. Happy birthday, Doug Denny. To make things work. And you're showing the world how much you actually care by doing this, by allowing yourself to kind of transition this way. This is really transformative energy, because whenever you have both nodes on the table, it means your life is switching somehow. It's like you're taking a test and seeing if you pass it. You're checking in, sort of a check-in point of how well am I doing at this? How is it going? Is there any ways that I could do better? Okay. Is there? And how is this impacting other people? No, you're in contention with somebody. This has got to do with maybe a fight, or you've been seeing a fight. You're trying to avoid a fight. That's kind of what it is saying. You're trying to make, and there's potential here to make a friend out of an enemy. So I don't know what this tense situation is, but ultimately you want to nullify it. You don't want to fight. You're preparing to fight. You're ready to fight, but it's almost like you'd rather not. Or this could be about a situation going on in the world where you are very focused right now. There's a heavy focus on healing the world, doing humanitarian things. So this could also have to do with your focus has now shifted from the pandemic and doing the right thing in the pandemic to the war and doing the right thing in the war. And it's almost like, okay, but beyond that, how are you doing the right thing in your home and in your relationship and by the people who you can have impact on every day? And what's the example that you want to model? That's kind of like these questions or these thoughts in your head right now. I don't know. Let's get some advice. Virgo. Okay, this is collaboration, stand your ground. So definitely there was a sense of, whatever this was when you disconnected with somebody, it was because you decided that it was what you believed in, that you felt, I'm going to distance myself from this person because I don't need them in my life anymore. They're not giving me what I need, or I fundamentally disagree with them. This is like a fundamental disagreement. Or you stood up for yourself, you stuck up for yourself. But ultimately there's maybe this tension or reemergence of this tension. That's why this tension is coming back. So ultimately, it's like, did you really finish anything? Did you finish things? Or did you just avoid it and walk away? I don't know. What do you want Virgo to do here? How do you want them to act? Fulfillment of wishes has come out in the past. It's almost like you wanted to stick up for yourself, or you wanted the ability to stand up for yourself or show your power. How is Virgo supposed to be acting right now? No, how is Virgo supposed to be? What do you want them to do right now? What do you want them to, how do you want them to behave? Fertility is here in reverse. So ultimately, this is not a time to start something new. That doesn't make any sense to me either. Triumph and success and throat chakra. So it's going to come through actually talking. So in other words, you're not going to get anywhere until you actually speak about this. Like, no matter what you do, you can't avoid actually having to just talk to somebody about it. Like, there is no chance for anything to grow until communication happens. So I don't know which area, and you know, it could have to do with the 5th house, but it's talking about throat chakra, saying things, or talking about it. This could be legitimately talking about the loss of a pregnancy, the loss of a child. But it would not have been a child, it would have been fertility. You know, or frustration or sadness regarding the outcome of a child or a concern of a child. Because we're dealing with fertility, it's almost like whatever you've held in about how disappointed you are or worried you are, you need to discuss it, you need to talk about it, because there seems to be a tension that is beneath the surface that, you know, you tried to avoid by refocusing your attention on something else, but that ache or that suffering didn't go away. So there's got to be a discussion about that, and you have the ability to do that now. There's a fulfillment of wishes. It's almost like you weren't fulfilled. You were disappointed by someone, or by some situation disappointed you. But ultimately you decided, well, I'm going to make the best out of this situation. But that didn't take the suffering or the hurt and the pain away. And that's what needs to come out and be discussed. Now, let's go into tarot, because I definitely want to go deeper into this. The links are below.